Welcome to the Deepak Saini Show.
He said he gon' huff and puff and blow my mind up. You meet an island girl, she might Jxxiii wind up.
Welcome to the Deepak Saini Show. I'd like to thank Jxxiii for our intro music. You can find a link to her music in the show description. My guest today is Jill Lublin. Jill is an international speaker on the topics of publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She's the author of 4 best-selling books, including Getting Noticed, Get Referrals, and co-author of Guerrilla Publicity and Networking Magic. Her latest book, Profit of Kindness, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business for more profitability and more visibility in the marketplace. She is CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 25 years experience working with over 100,000 people, plus national and international media. Jill teaches a virtual publicity bootcamp and consults and speaks all over the world. She's spoken on many stages with luminaries such as Tony Robbins and others. Jill, welcome to the Deepak Saini Show.
Thank you, Deepak. I appreciate being here.
Oh, I appreciate you having you. So, Jill, when most, little girls are growing up, they don't think they're going to get into the publicity world or books. So how did you get here? I always like to ask that. How did you get to where you're at?
Oh, you mean being a ballerina is not being a publicity expert?
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. Educate me in the audience.
Well, I kind of like many of us fell into what I do now a bit. It was a bit of an accident. I actually was in law school and expecting to be an attorney, which I did dream about being when I was a little girl, because I thought that would be the way to make a difference. And then I got to law school. And so for me, in my creative mind, that was a tough place to be. And so during that time, I actually started in the music business. And to, shall I say, make the time a little easier, started in publicity and promotion in the music business and discovered that's what I truly loved. So I dropped out of law school and kept on in the music business. And here I am today. I started as a director of promotion and publicity at independent record labels. And now I'm helping wonderfully creative entrepreneurs really get publicity and get out with their work. That's really my passion.
Very cool. Do you still work with any musical artists?
At this time, no, but I did for a while, and then it became creative. But honestly, the people I serve usually are in I call it high creative categories.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as with, a veteran of the PR world, 25 plus years, what is public relations actually?
Public relations happens from the minute you walk out your door. The reality is we're all doing public relations. So this is not the kind of thing that we have to think about or figure out. I mean, yes, we'll create a plan and get specific and focused on your message. But can I just tell you, you're all doing public relations. So let's do it smart and wise.
So when I take my dog out for a walk in the first thing in the morning in my morning coat, that's public relations as well?
Yes, because...
Okay, I might need to rethink my strategy here.
You may need someone in the dog park is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is let's expand our mindset for the fact that it's all public relations. That's what I mean by that. And what that looks like is the opportunity to connect your message to have impact wherever you go. And then, very specifically, it's getting interviewed on TV, radio, podcasts, magazines, newspapers, blogs, showing up on all of it. That's public relations too. I'm just really on a bit of a roll to expand people's definition of what public relations is.
Sure, absolutely. And I know you feel strongly about the message. So what is that, and how does one create it?
The message. Oh, it is the foundation of everything you want. So when media picks you, they are picking you because of your message. You have to speak to their readers, their viewers, their listeners. And a great way to do that is to figure out what is it that their readers, viewers, etc. need. You deliver that message. You're the source. You're the one they want to hear from.
So would that be, the publishers, the gatekeepers, what have you, your message resonates, they're going to view you as an expert, right? So, is that, like, maybe define what is an expert in that kind of realm?
So the point is that the experts are the ones that that we are, right? The ones you interview, the one hopefully that I am, that you are, we're the ones who have answers, specific answers to problems. We have solutions. We provide the opportunity to, shall we say, solve problems. And that's really a big thing. And I do have a great formula for how to do that. But the truth is that the media is picking, based on your, shall I say, putting forth a great message.
Okay. You mentioned that you have a sort of secret sauce formula. Is that something you're able to share with our audience, or maybe a little tidbit of it?
Absolutely. I couldn't tell you the whole formula because I'd have to kill you, but
Yeah, no, of course, right.
no, I'm teasing. Yes, I do have a formula, and it's part of what I'm known for is systems and blueprints for publicity and making it easy. So here it is. It's fill in this blank, the problem today, and then tell people what is the problem. Don't say, here's what I do, but what's the problem out there? If you're a chiropractor, the problem is people are stressed at their desk, and so then I'd give, 3 solutions, make it simple, keep it in 5-year-old language, and actually tell people what to do. I like to say appetizers, not full meals. Right? That's what I mean about don't give away, for everybody listening, don't give away everything you know, but give away great value and benefit, and tell them what to do and keep it focused. And that really helps people.
Yeah, for anyone listening, I just want to highlight a couple of things that you said there, Jill. I think are really important. And I see this, with a lot of new entrepreneurs, whether it be coaches or otherwise, they give too much away right off the bat for free, which is not part of the formula. And the other thing I see a lot of, especially it goes across all genres, but I'm in the midst of this will probably come out after, but I'm running a summit. I've been interviewing a lot of luminaries and a lot of people in sort of the medical side. They don't speak in 5-year-old language, and I think it's like you gotta. I don't want to use the word dumb it down, but I think you have to make it easier for people to digest very quickly, type of thing. So I love that you shared that. I know another thing I've heard you talk about before is that ooh-ah factor or ooh la la factor. What I might have misheard that. So what is that? What is that in your definition?
Oh, well, first of all, I love to say ooh-ah factor.
Oh, ooh-ah. Okay, sorry, my bad.
No, that's great because people will remember it. That's my point. See, that's a soundbite, right? And I think for all of you listening, we want to create fun sound bites that people will pay attention to. That's one of mine. So what is it? It is using everything you've got. It's using all parts of you. It's using the parts of you that might be something you don't normally talk to people about. Maybe it's vulnerable. Maybe it's deep. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe it's sad. And I think that the ooh-ah factor could be the very thing that actually is going to get you media, but that maybe you just haven't shared as much of. It also can, by the way, be who you are, like ethnicity, religion, using all parts of who we are, because the reality is, like, if you're Hispanic, there's a Latina press, like what could you be using? Everything you've got.
Got it. I think we're going to probably make this episode called what is your ooh-ah factor? I think that sounds like a catchy podcast title, right?
That's fun. Yeah, let's do it.
You kind of highlight there, like use everything you got. You kind of use that example. Are there some other examples that maybe people wouldn't normally think of using everything you got? I'm going to selfishly ask that question because I want to make sure I'm using everything I got too.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So first thing I say, let's start with ethnicity. Let's start with gender. If you're a woman, let's use International Women's Day, for example. One of my clients, Ryan, is Asian American. And funny enough, he doesn't actually speak Chinese. And what we did was we translated his article into Chinese, put it into the Chinese Times. That one piece of publicity got him a $7,000 consulting engagement. Like, how great is that? And I will tell you, Ryan is an instructional designer. Now, when he came to me for publicity, I'm like, Ryan, what is that? He told me, and I said, no offense, that's boring. That's not going to get you publicity. tell me your story. I want to, I was looking for the fact.
Right.
Ryan told me he'd been downsized from a corporate job. He'd been fired. His wife was pregnant with their third child on the way. He'd just bought a big house. Now, this isn't exactly a formula for success. I'm like, Ryan, what'd you do? He said, well, I started my own company, and literally online within 24 hours, he had 8 employees doing instructional design, all virtually. I thought, well, now that's interesting. And I made him into a virtual office warrior. Now, the acronym for that is VOW. Ryan took a vow never to work in an office again. That story is what got him front page of the San Francisco Business Times, got him into Entrepreneur Magazine, right? Got him into Mac Home Journal. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. Actually, for 9 months, we rode that wave, because sometimes publicity does come in waves. And when it does, you just got to ride it. Of him being a virtual office warrior. In fact, funny enough, and wonderfully enough, the San Francisco Business Times actually used the headline, "How to Be a Virtual Office Warrior." Why? How wonderful is that? So that was taking a story that really had nothing to do with what he does every day, but actually got him incredible attention and drove clients right to him.
Yeah, I won't share it here, but just that one story alone already gave me like one idea of what I could, use everything I've got as well. So I love that.
Oh, good.
So, and you kind of mentioned that, that ride the wave, and you just have to ride it. I guess the other part of it's like you actually have to be prepared to ride it, right? Like you can't, let's use surfing as our analogy here. It's like it's great that the wave's coming, but if you don't have a board, like you're not going to be successful, right? So maybe could you speak to, not only the preparation for when that wave comes?
Well, here's the thing. You are all prepared enough. If you know anything about what you're doing, you have opinions, you have some, shall I say, main points. What I like to do, use that message formula I gave you and define, we'll call them 3 main points. And just be ready to say those again, again, and again, because I want you to have a script. I want you to feel what I notice, as people follow that system, they start to feel more confident is the word. And as your confidence rises, you're going to just attract people instantly to you because they will feel that. So what I recommend, and listen, I've shown up at TV shows with a little 4x6 card that I'm holding from one of my books and with main points, right, on my lap, because nobody can really see it, but I can quickly look down and remember my main points. So never be afraid to write it down, have a little Post-it, have your main points always at your fingertips so that you can make them. And here's the truth. You might get bored of your main points, but other people are hearing them for the first time.
Right.
So one thing I want to encourage people is always have a basic script and, be ready to tell some stories. Like you just asked me about a story, right? And that's how you have your board. In other words, that's your foundation. And then the reality is you can do interview after interview after interview, when it's World Kindness Day and I wrote The Profit of Kindness, I am interviewed every sometimes half hour. And
right.
Yes, I'm going to have some main points from guerrilla publicity. I'm going to have main points, right? And you're hearing some of them now. So I think that that's a key, is that preparation is really, you want to give the good, like I said, value and benefit, but don't fire hose people. And we want to give them specific things to do with real world advice like we're doing here right now.
Right.
And, again, people don't need to know all the details, every single little thing. It's too much.
Absolutely. So.
Oh, but wait, can I go back only because I've seen people get, like, I'll tell you, a wonderful man who was in my publicity breakthrough boot camp is Pakistani. So we were talking about using everything you've got. He said, oh my gosh, I've never thought about the fact I'm Pakistani. He did a quick search in Los Angeles. There were 5 Pakistani newsletters oriented just for that. He never used that. He's a business consultant. Do you know he got in 2 of them? Actually 3 of them. He got in 3 of them and grew his email list by 20,000 people. What, I mean, that's amazing
Wow.
right there. Is that good publicity? Yes, he got in the newsletters, he made press, he increased his email list. I mean, it had real concrete results. And you know what, if even let's say 1% of that converts, or even 0.5%, would that be amazing money in your pocket? I mean, what I know about the power of publicity is its ability to create leads and referrals, and of course credibility and trust, and that immediately elevates the perception of you on the marketplace.
That I'm glad you interrupted me and came back with that, because now you've given me another idea of something to use, of use everything you got. So now I have two. So well worth my time. Absolutely love it. I love it. So as we kind of slowly come to a wrap here on this this interview here, tell us about, like, I guess what the ROI, the return on investment on publicity. Like, what does that typically look like? Or I guess it probably varies depending, but maybe just talk to anyone who's maybe thinking of like how they want to pursue, myself included, publicity for themselves, how to think about that.
Oh gosh, I love the ROI on publicity. In my world, we measure what you receive. Like, if it's, let's take Ryan, for example, his article, let me just tell you, had he paid for it in advertising, would have been over $50,000. Okay, had he paid for that. Also, that was free. Then he received, just one of the things that happened was he received a $7,000 consulting engagement. I'd say that was a great investment in publicity, right? And that's the ways we measure. And the power of publicity to get you seen, to get you heard, and to get you paid is what is the propelling jet of it, right? I mean, listen, I had a woman, she followed my system of publicity and got a 15-minute podcast, sold 42 self-published books. She would never have done that out of her garage. So, right. The phone ringing off the hook kind of thing is actually what it creates. And I've really seen, particularly in these last couple of years, is the trust and elevated authority factor. That's what people respond to, because they've seen you, they've heard you, they know you, or so they think, right? And so they will be attracted to who you are and what you're proposing.
Got it. I love it. Yeah, so many things running through my head now. So for things to implement for myself. Now, Jill, this is, I'm all about health. That's kind of what I do for my business. But although this is not a health podcast, this is just a, exceptional conversations with exceptional people like yourself. But I'd be remiss not to ask, sort of a parting health related question. What does your morning routine look like? Or, how do you keep yourself, as healthy as possible?
Yeah, well, health does begin like from the minute I open my eyes, which is, first of all, to be grateful. I do 5 things that I'm grateful for every single morning. I actually speak them out loud, and I do it at night, just so you know. So I begin it and end it. And also I do a specific meditation, and I do some prayers, and what else do I do? I often light candles. I play with my kitties because, it's good oxytocin and it makes me smile. And so mostly my morning ritual and health orientation is oriented more in the spiritual realm of, planting my day and getting ready for it, and readjusting my mindset at times, or, going forward in a positive way. And so that's been really helpful for me. I listen to frequencies. It's one of the fun things I do. I do different things depending on, honestly, a little bit of my mood. I'm not have to do this in every order every day. It's just not my style.
Sure.
I like the mix up a little bit, but there's some things I do consistently.
Yeah, I love that. I think consistency, like you just said, is key. I love the gratitude piece. Whenever you're going to get it done. I love that you do both in the morning and in the evening. I tend to do mine in the evening. I like that kind of in my mind as I'm going to sleep. But again, I always tell people, whenever you're going to do it is the best time to do it. And I just want to also underline for the audience, I mean, not everyone has a pet, but I love that you play with your kitties, and just made me think of something my dog did this morning. He was just like hilarious. He makes me laugh at least once every day. And I mean, sometimes he drives me nuts too, but but he always makes me laugh too. And of course, yes, the oxytocin as well. So one last question, and then you have a gift for the audience, so I want to share with them. But what is one that could be health related or otherwise? It doesn't matter. What is one thing you wish you would have started earlier, or what would you have told? What would you have loved to tell your younger self?
I think really financial literacy. What did I know about starting a business? I put up my shingle, so to speak, and off I went as an entrepreneur. And I think really getting more financially literate and understanding how to measure and all that good stuff, I think would have been really good. And that's probably where I would have started and told my younger self. And, frankly, healthy habits quicker. It was something I more learned, self-care. How about that? Self-care, right? Wow, what a concept. To me, almost honestly, I had to get to the pandemic to really practice more self-care. And I was radical self-care at that point.
Yeah, no, I love those points as well. Yeah, I think financial literacy is super important. I don't know why we don't teach it to our kids in school younger, but and then self-care, absolutely. Yeah, just as an interesting aside, we also really got Mike. I mean, obviously that's what I do. So I've always been doing this for, well, not always, but since I've gone through my own journey the last 10 years or so. But when COVID hit, we kind of got that more for the kids, not only the physical because they weren't at school and not, but also, the mental as well. And now that they're obviously back to school and that, so we've kind of dialed it down a bit, but I think that's so important. So I love that you brought that up. Now you do have a gift for the listeners, and it is and for everyone, we're going to have all the links for Jill's, socials and where to find her, and for this free gift as well. But it's a publicity action guide. Can you just briefly tell the audience what they can expect from this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love, giving great tips for what to do, real things that you can do immediately to get great publicity success. And that's what's in the free gift. Plus, super fun, double bonus is that I'm giving you access to my free publicity masterclass. It's live and interactive with me, where you get to ask questions right on site, so to speak. And I'm right there to answer them, plus deliver you more great content.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to be doing that. I've already gotten, like I said earlier, 2 interesting ideas just from this conversation. I'm definitely going to check it out, and I encourage everyone to as well. Jill, any last, words of wisdom, golden nuggets you'd like to share with the audience today?
Oh, sure. So one of the things, people go, oh, I don't know, when do I start publicity? Now, now, with wherever you are, because publicity is like a gardening process. You have to plant seeds and grow. It grows. Your publicity grows at different times. So I encourage you, start now, baby steps for visibility building activities that start getting you more seen and elevated, so that people choose you and that your message gets heard. Because really, my bottom line for all of you is that your message matters.
Love that. I love that. So yes, everyone, I think that's a great way to end off. And again, don't forget to download the free gift and check out Jill's website, and all the links we'll have underneath in the description underneath this interview here. So again, Jill, I want to thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate your time, and it took us a while to connect, but we finally did, and it was so worth it. So I really appreciate that. So I'm just going to throw it back to Jxxiii, who's going to play us some music on our way out. And thanks again, everyone, for listening to the Deepak Saini Show. Remember, exceptional results for the exceptional you.
Podcast produced by the Minted Green Company